Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week the spring has finally emerged and you look around, the sky is blue, it's warm outside, the snow for the most part is finally gone, and we can enjoy, after a long cold winter, we can enjoy being outside again and connecting with each other. It's this change of season that calls us and says, it's time to speak up, it's time to do things, but we have to know when to speak and when not to. And it's not that we keep quiet over the winter, but the winter very easily lends itself to being hibernating and to being inside and insular. I know in my own neighborhood, it's as if we're seasonal friends with our neighbors. In the summertime, we're outside on the streets all the time with each other. And in the winter, we kind of wave at each other passing in cars, and that's about it. The Torah portion this Shabbat is Shmini, and it has a very difficult lesson. It's when Aaron's sons bring a strange fire and they're consumed. And Moses is wrestling with what to do. Moses sees his brother hurting, his nephews are gone, and Moses speaks to Aaron. And the words he says aren't particularly comforting words, and Aaron receives them coldly. In fact, the text records that Aaron stood silent. And it's that question of when to speak and when to keep silence that comes flying out of the Torah portion this Shabbat that speaks to me so much of this time of year. Spring is a time where we're no longer silent, where we speak out and we're involved. But sometimes we have to speak out and do that at other times of the year too. Sometimes we have to reach out and not let the snow hold us back. And sometimes Moses needs to keep quiet and sometimes he needs to speak. He wrestles with it in his own humanity and we wrestle with it too. And part of that wrestling is what it means to be a Jew. It's to wrestle with our nature, to wrestle with our God, to wrestle with ourselves, to determine when we need to speak, when we're called to be silent, and when we need to do something and reach out, and when we need to pull back. It's a hard question, but it's a question of our own humanity, and I think at the essence it's a question of how we function as Jews. Shabbat services this Friday evening will be at 6 o'clock. Our fourth graders will be joining us and be leading us in most of the worship. Promises to be a wonderful evening spent with them and with the cantor and me. I hope you can join us. Saturday morning we have Torah study at 10, text study at 9, and services at 11. Sunday our religious school is back in session and we're having our blood drive, so all the vampires of the world will be out. So I hope you'll come and donate blood. Those blood deeds are ever present, and anything that we can do to help people is in fact saving lives and of vital importance. And next week we'll celebrate the installation of our cantor, which promises to be an exquisite evening for our temple as we join together in celebrating our marvelous good fortune in having Kari as a part of our lives and the joy that she brings to all of us. For now, though, Shabbat Shalom from the temple. I hope you have a Shabbat of enjoying the weather and coming out of that cocoon of the winter and celebrating and speaking and reaching out and connecting and finding the right words. Shabbat Shalom.